Austin McBroom is spiraling, and the internet is watching every second of it unfold. What should have been Catherine's picture-perfect fairy tale wedding announcement has instead exposed Austin's latest public breakdown. From emotional live streams to throwing shade at his ex. He's now lost his wedding invitation, embarrassed himself in front of fans, and even fueled speculation that his own relationship has fallen apart because he refuses to let go of the past. The big question everyone is asking is simple. Why is Austin still so fixated on Catherine, and is this obsession destroying his life one step at a time? This isn't just another messy breakup headline. It's a story of two very different paths colliding. On one side, Catherine is glowing with her fiancé Igor, sharing a love story that feels private, secure, and grounded in family. On the other side, Austin is unraveling, clinging to live-stream drama, and struggling to separate himself from the shadow of what used to be. Fans are calling him out, emotions are running high, and the way this drama keeps escalating is nothing short of shocking. By the end of this video, you'll see why people believe Austin McBroom's refusal to move on might be his biggest downfall yet. But to understand just how deep Austin's spiral goes, we first need to look at Catherine's new chapter, and why her happiness may have triggered all of this. Catherine Paiz has been quietly building a brand new life away from the chaos of her past, and her recent engagement to Igor is proof of that transformation. Earlier this year, she surprised fans with a heartfelt Snapchat story that laid out their love timeline in detail. She revealed that their first picture together was taken back in 2023, and although the relationship started long distance, they made it work for 8 months despite the challenges. One of the most emotional details she shared was that her children slowly but surely fell in love with Igor too. Something that was essential for her before taking the relationship seriously. By Valentine's Day, Igor proposed, and Catherine said yes, sealing a new chapter in her life that she called nothing short of fate. Fans were especially touched when she revealed a photo of herself by a waterfall in Brazil, only to discover that Igor had taken a picture in the exact same spot 2 years earlier, a detail she described as destiny. For many followers, Catherine's post didn't just announce her engagement, it symbolized healing, growth, and moving forward. It showed that she was no longer tied to the messy public scandals that surrounded her past with Austin McBroom, but instead focused on love, family, and stability. The fact that her kids were included in every step of the journey only reinforced how serious and grounded this relationship truly is. It was a story that felt wholesome, romantic, and real, the opposite of the chaos Catherine endured before. But while Catherine was celebrating her future, Austin was once again caught up in the past, jumping on live streams and making her engagement more about himself than about her happiness. And that's where the contrast between their two worlds couldn't be more striking. Because instead of respecting her happiness, Austin couldn't resist sharing his own reaction, and it quickly backfired. When Catherine Paiz announced her engagement, most people expected Austin McBroom to stay quiet, respect her moment, and move on. Instead, he did what fans have come to expect. He jumped online to live stream his reaction. At first, Austin tried to downplay the situation, telling viewers he already knew about the engagement long before Catherine made it public. He claimed he was happy for her, but fans immediately noticed that his tone didn't match his words. The energy was off, almost as if he couldn't help but let his bitterness show, and it became clear that his reaction wasn't as supportive as he wanted people to believe. Things quickly went downhill when Austin made a comment that many considered completely out of line. In the middle of his stream, he suggested that Catherine's fiancé, Igor, might have only proposed for citizenship. That single statement set the internet on fire. What could have been a rare moment of maturity, showing respect to his ex and the father figure to his children, instead turned into a messy spectacle filled with shade and embarrassment. Fans accused him of being jealous, immature, and incapable of letting Catherine move on with her life without inserting himself into the conversation. The consequences were immediate and humiliating. Austin revealed that Catherine revoked his invitation to the wedding, an invite he claimed she had originally extended because their children wanted him there. On another stream, he admitted that his words probably weren't the best choice, but by then the damage was already done. To fans, this wasn't just about one careless slip. It was a reminder of a bigger pattern that has followed Austin for years. His tendency to turn Catherine's happiness into his own drama, even at the expense of his image, his relationships, and his credibility online. And fans didn't hesitate to remind Austin of that pattern, calling him out harder than ever before. The internet wasted no time tearing into Austin McBroom after his livestream comments about Catherine's engagement. Within hours, social media was flooded with reactions accusing him of being jealous, immature, and flat-out hypocritical. Fans pointed out that instead of showing growth, Austin proved once again that he can't resist turning Catherine's private life into his own content. To many, his behavior wasn't just embarrassing, it was proof that he still hasn't moved on, even though Catherine has made it clear she's focused on her future with Igor. What made the backlash even harsher was Austin's history. People were quick to remind him of his long list of scandals, from repeated cheating rumors to clout-chasing stunts that always seemed to put him back in the spotlight for the wrong reasons. Fans resurfaced old moments, like the time he parked an RV outside Catherine's house, pretending to be broken-hearted and desperate to win her back, while she was already quietly moving on with Igor. These memories painted a clear picture. Austin wasn't the victim he tried to portray, he was the one still clinging to a narrative that no longer existed. The message from fans was impossible to ignore. Catherine has worked to build peace and stability for herself and her children, while Austin continues to drag their past into the public eye for views. Audiences were united in saying she deserves to enjoy her engagement without interference, and that Austin needs to stop weaponizing her happiness for clout. It wasn't just Catherine's supporters who were calling him out. Even neutral viewers admitted his actions made him look bitter, and many argued it's time for him to step back, respect boundaries, and finally let Catherine live her life without his commentary. But while the internet was dragging him, another person in Austin's life was quietly losing patience, his girlfriend Alexa. As Catherine's engagement story gained traction, Austin's behavior started creating cracks in his own relationship with his girlfriend Alexa. Fans immediately noticed red flags, especially during a live stream where Austin accidentally slipped and called Alexa by the same nickname he once used for Catherine. He tried to play it off with a laugh, even promising viewers that he would throw the nickname in the trash, but the damage was already done. To many, this wasn't just a slip of the tongue. It was undeniable proof that Austin still wasn't over his ex, and worse, he was letting that emotional baggage spill into his current relationship. The backlash only grew as more clips surfaced of Austin bringing up Catherine while sitting right next to Alexa. For viewers, it was awkward, uncomfortable, and a sign that Alexa was being dragged into drama she never asked for. Fans began openly questioning how much longer Alexa would tolerate being compared to Catherine, especially when Austin made his ex the centerpiece of nearly every conversation. The narrative online quickly shifted to sympathy for Alexa, with many insisting she deserved better than someone who couldn't let go of the past. At that point, most people agreed that a breakup wasn't just possible, it was inevitable. And sure enough, it didn't take long for Austin himself to confirm what everyone had already suspected. It didn't take long for the speculation to become reality. Austin McBroom finally confirmed what fans had been predicting for weeks. His relationship with Alexa was over. On stream, he tried to control the narrative, insisting that cheating wasn't the cause this time. Instead, he explained that they were simply on different paths, describing Alexa as young, ambitious, and hungry to chase her goals, while implying that his own life priorities were different. Austin painted the breakup as mature and amicable, but the cracks in his explanation left fans unconvinced. For many, it felt like he was avoiding the real issue that had been obvious for months. Viewers argued that the split had little to do with different paths, and everything to do with Austin's refusal to move on from Catherine. His live streams painted a clear picture. One day he was emotional, crying in a gym steam room about having a rough week, and the next, he was shading Catherine's new relationship in front of thousands of viewers. To fans, it wasn't bad timing, it was obsession. Alexa's patience had finally run out, and audiences felt she had every right to walk away. In their eyes, Austin hadn't just lost a relationship. He had once again proved that clinging to the past was sabotaging his present. And when you step back and look at Austin's history, the breakup feels less like an isolated event and more like part of a bigger pattern. What makes this entire situation even more frustrating for fans is that it's not new behavior from Austin McBroom. It's a pattern that has played out time and time again. For years, he's been accused of using Catherine's name to keep himself relevant, whether through attention-grabbing live streams or over-the-top stunts that made their private life a public spectacle. One of the most infamous examples was when he staged the RV stunt outside Catherine's house, claiming he was devastated and trying to win her back, while in reality, it looked more like content than sincerity. Moments like that cemented the belief that Austin thrives on dragging Catherine back into the spotlight, even when she's trying to move forward. Fans have made it clear that while co-parenting naturally requires communication, what Austin does goes far beyond that. There's a difference between acknowledging your ex in the context of raising children together and turning every live stream into a Catherine-centered drama session. His constant references, subtle digs, and emotional breakdowns over her love life don't come across as harmless. They come across as fixation. Each time Austin brings her up, it reinforces the idea that he's emotionally stuck, unable to separate his role as a father from his tendency to exploit their past relationship for attention. Meanwhile, Catherine has taken a completely different approach, one that only highlights the contrast between them. She carefully chooses what parts of her relationship with Igor to share, keeping the majority of her private life off social media while focusing on her family and future. By doing so, she's gained support and respect for handling her situation with maturity and grace. The split-screen comparison is undeniable. Catherine is building a new chapter grounded in stability, while Austin remains trapped in the past, repeating the same behaviors that fans have been criticizing for years. And the more he leans into those old patterns, the more his image suffers. Which brings us to the bigger picture. What does this all mean for Austin's future? And can he ever truly move on? So what does this entire situation really reveal about Austin McBroom and Catherine Paiz? For Catherine, the answer is simple. She has stepped into a new season of stability, love, and peace with Igor, proving to fans that she's left the chaos of her past behind. Her engagement has been celebrated as a fresh start, one that centers family and maturity. But for Austin, the picture looks completely different. In just a matter of weeks, he's lost his invitation to Catherine's wedding, his relationship with Alexa, and the respect of fans who once gave him the benefit of the doubt. His inability to move on from Catherine isn't just shaping his public image, it's actively dismantling it, livestream by livestream, while the internet watches every misstep in real time. And that's where the bigger question comes in. Will Austin ever learn to let go? Everyone has to decide whether they'll move forward or stay trapped in old mistakes, but right now, Austin seems stuck replaying the same story he's been telling for years. For Catherine, the choice is clear. She's chosen happiness, privacy, and a future with someone who values her. But for Austin, the jury is still out. Fans are left debating whether this is just another chapter in his endless cycle of drama, or the breaking point that finally forces him to grow up. Either way, one thing is certain. Catherine has already written her next chapter, while Austin is still rereading the last one. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next upload. And don't forget to drop a like and share your thoughts in the comments. It helps the channel grow and lets me know what stories you want covered next.